Let's dive into the world of chaotic good, where the rules get bent, but the outcome? Totally worth it. Story 1. The neighbor's dog kept barking at night, until I gave them a taste of their own noise. I, 29M, live in a small apartment complex, and my upstairs neighbor has a dog that barks non-stop every night. I asked them politely a few times to do something about it, but they always brushed it off with, "He's just excited or he'll calm down eventually." Weeks of bad sleep went by and I was done. One night, after another 3 a.m. barking session, I got up early and set my speakers right below their apartment. Around 6:30 a.m., I blasted dog barking sounds on loop. 10 minutes later, they were banging on my door, furious. I opened it and said, "Weird, isn't it?" The dog's been quiet ever since. Story 2. The manager refused to give us chairs, so we took our breaks on the counter. I, 24F, worked retail where we stood for 8-hour shifts. Our manager, 40M, didn't allow chairs behind the counter, claiming standing looks more professional. Even when it was dead, we weren't allowed to sit. One day, all of us had enough. During a slow afternoon, we each took turns sitting on the counter during breaks. He came over, furious, and told us to get down. We asked, "Would you prefer a chair?" By the end of the week, stools magically appeared. Story 3. My roommate wouldn't clean the dishes, so I used every single one. I, 27F, live with 2 roommates. One of them, 26M, never washes dishes. Ever. He always says, "I'll get to it," but never does. One weekend, I decided if he wasn't going to clean, I'd make sure he had no choice. I cooked all my meals using every pot, pan, spoon, and bowl in the kitchen. I left them neatly stacked right next to his dirty pile. When he saw it, he sighed and said, "Fine, I get it, he's been better since." Story 4. The guy at the gym kept hogging equipment, until I gave him a little reality check. I, 30M, go to a small gym where there's only one squat rack. There's this guy, 35M, who always camps there on his phone, barely lifting. People ask to work in, and he says, "Give me 5 more sets." One day, I waited 20 minutes before saying, "You done?" He ignored me. So I stood next to him, pulled out my phone, and started timing him out loud. "That's 3 minutes, still resting?" He got annoyed, but people around us laughed. He left 5 minutes later, and now he doesn't linger. Story 5. She took all the dryer time, so I found a way to share it. I, 27F, live in an apartment building with a shared laundry room, and there's this one neighbor, 30SF, who fills every dryer on Sunday mornings, 3 machines all at once. The rest of us wait hours just to get one load done. Last week I came in and found her clothes sitting in all 3 dryers as usual. This time I took one of her loads out early, still damp, and put my stuff in. I folded her clothes neatly, left them on the table, and didn't say a word. She walked in as I was finishing, looked annoyed, but I just nodded and left. Did she learn? Who knows? But at least I got my laundry done that day. Story 6. The no outside food rule didn't stop me from feeding the kids. I, 31M, work at an after-school program that's run inside a larger facility. The management has a rule: no outside food allowed. The idea is to keep things clean, but they also sell snacks at ridiculous prices. One day, a couple of the kids came in hungry, and I found out they didn't have money for snacks. I wasn't about to let them sit there without anything. I brought in a bag of granola bars the next day and handed them out quietly. One of the supervisors gave me a look, but I just said, "It's not food, it's fuel." Nobody stopped me, and nobody went hungry. Story 7. The guy in front kept sneaking extra samples, so I made sure he shared. I, 29F, was at a food festival, and one booth had these amazing little samples, tiny bites of cheesecake. There was a guy ahead of me who kept circling back, grabbing extra samples like it was a buffet. I waited until he went up again, and I stepped forward, saying loudly, "Oh cool, you work here? Can you tell me about the ingredients?" He froze. The booth staff looked confused. He muttered something and walked off. After that, I finally got my sample without him hovering over the tray. Story 8. The office fridge thief got an extra spicy surprise. I, 34M, bring lunch to work every day, and every so often part of it goes missing. Not the whole thing, just a few bites, or one side dish, like someone thinks I won't notice. Last week, I had enough. I packed a container of my homemade chili, but this time I tripled the spice. Ghost peppers, habaneros, the works. I labeled it normally and left it in the fridge. When I came back, someone had clearly tasted it. About half was gone, but the rest had been thrown back in the fridge, lid open, untouched. Nobody admitted anything. I didn't ask. Lunch theft hasn't been an issue for me since. But honestly, I wasn't looking for change. I just wanted that one moment of justice. Story 9. He wouldn't stop talking during the movie, so I found a way to shut him up. I-26F went to see a movie I'd been looking forward to for weeks. The guy 2 seats over wouldn't stop talking, loud whispers, full-on comments, checking his phone. I asked him once, nicely, to keep it down. He smirked. Next time he started up, I pulled out my phone and started recording the screen with his voice in the background. I leaned over and whispered, "Want to be famous for ruining a movie?" He got quiet after that. I deleted the video, of course. I wasn't there to cause a scene. I just wanted peace. Story 10. The line cutter got his coffee, just not how he expected. I-30M stop at the same coffee shop every morning, and there's this guy 40SM who always cuts the line. Doesn't matter how long the line is, he walks in, waves at the barista like they're best friends, and places his order. People grumble, but no one says anything. One day I'd had enough. As he walked in and made his usual move to the front, I stepped forward and said, loudly, "Let's get this man his coffee. He must be in a huge rush." The barista hesitated, and I added, "Make sure it's extra hot. He needs to feel it." The barista smirked, poured a fresh one, and handed it to him. As he reached for it, I said, "Now the rest of us will take our turn. Thanks." He took the coffee, red-faced, and stood off to the side. No one said much, but I noticed he didn't jump the next day. Story 11. They refused to clean up after themselves, so I made it public. I-28F. Work in an office where people use the shared kitchen like it's their personal trash dump. Every day, dirty mugs, food wrappers, spills left untouched. We had signs up, emails from HR, nothing worked. So I got creative. I started taking pictures of the messes, not just the trash, but who left it. Coffee mugs with names, half-eaten lunches with initials. Then I created a little collage titled Kitchen Hall of Fame and pinned it right above the sink. Within hours, people were talking. Some laughed, some got defensive. The kitchen, still messy sometimes, but now at least they're looking over their shoulders. Story 12. He blasted music at 6 a.m. until I gave him a morning show. I-32M, live in a townhouse with thin walls. My neighbor, 30M, blasts loud music every morning around 6 a.m., even on weekends. I knocked on his door once, asked him to keep it down, and he just said, "It's my house, deal with it." I did. Next morning, I waited until 5:30 a.m., opened my windows facing his, and started playing farm animal noises. Roosters, cows, pigs, full blast. 10 minutes later, I heard his music come on. I cranked it louder. By 6:30, everything went quiet. I never said another word to him. I just kept the audio files ready for the next time. Story 13. The reserved parking spot wasn't for them, but I helped them claim it anyway. I-34F, rent in a small complex with assigned parking spots. One tenant, 50SF, constantly parks in my space, even though hers is just 2 spots over. Every time I leave a note, she moves it, but only for a day or two. One night, she parked there again. I didn't call the tow truck. Instead, I parked directly behind her, blocking her in. I left a note, "You can have this spot all night. I'll move when I'm back from work around 8 p.m. I left for the day, took my time. When I returned, she was waiting, fuming. I smiled, moved my car, and said, "Hope you enjoyed my spot." She still parks badly sometimes, but never in mine. If you enjoyed today's video, leave a like and a sub, and we'll see us in the next one.